Hey, we're back with you. The Jesse T Show is always live. You never know where we're going to be, but we're always going to be somewhere doing something either mischievous or something really good. And today I feel good about it because it's Sunday in Southern California and we're doing some great things out here. And I am so honored to be with a person that served our country here in the political realm, here in Los Angeles and in Washington, D.C., the Honorable Congresswoman Diane Watson. Hi.
Hi, I think you do such an admirable job of informing the people, and I want you to keep doing it, because what we need now is citizens of the United States to be concerned about how we raise from the bottom to the top our people, all people, and you are the one that can make that happen, and I thank you so much.
Well, I humbly, those are kind words, but the service you have provided this country over the years and the leadership and for Los Angeles here and our home has been just tremendous. And so many great people are passing on now. We just heard the news that
John Conyers just passed, and that's a tremendous loss. But he served 40 years, and he set the tone of what we have to do here in the United States of America.
And I like the way you emphasize united because, you know, we are united no matter what. That's what made this country great is the ability that we all spoke different languages, but we all wanted to make something different than what we came from. We wanted to be a part of a melting pot, so to speak. And we've kind of lost that in the last, at least my lifetime, the last 40 years. It seems to be eroded a bit.
And lifting the underclasses to normal, average people and not have these divisions. And that's my dream. That's the mission I've been on, to be sure that the underclasses felt like they had a place in America.
Like no other place in the world. I've been to 43 nations and 300 U.S. cities, and I kiss the ground every time I come back to LAX or whatever. I'll tell you what, even some of the first world nations that they call first world nations are not like America. That middle class is so important. That middle class is what made us powerful. That middle class is what brought us together. That middle class is what made this country great.
Yes.
And we've got to get back to those basic ideas. It's not so much how much you have.
Principles.
Not so much how much I don't have, is what can we strive to become?
And how do we continue to bring people up? Just average citizens. And as long as we have an underclass, we will be challenged.
Yeah.
And so as a nation, and Americanism is revered all over the globe.
Yes, that's why everybody wants to come here.
Mm-hmm. Everyone wants to come here.
They don't want to go to Russia or China or Venezuela. I'm sorry. I don't. I want to come here.
We are a blend in this country.
Yeah.
And our doors, our Statue of Liberty. Bring me your tired, your poor, your humble masses yearning to be free.
Boy, talk about blends. I'm a backyard alley cat mutt. I'm an American mutt. I'm a Spanish, Italian, French, German, Scot, Irish, and whatever, indigenous Indian. I think my blood's been spread all over the country.
Yeah. Well, when I go back to look at our gene pool, I start with London, Scotch-Irish, and then going across the nation, going to Africa, I found out that my genes were from the Central Republic of Africa.
Oh, boy.
And as an ambassador, I visited the African ambassador from Central Republic to the United States and was his house guest.
You're just all mixed up.
So I've been able to trace back. And
you know, isn't that wonderful?
It's wonderful.
Our heritage is important, and our future is important, and our young people. Thank you for taking a few moments with me, Jesse T. I appreciate that. The Honorable Diane Watson.
I feel really blessed. Thank you.
I feel blessed. I'll give you that $25 later, okay? Okay. All right. All right. Hey, I'm switching sides here. Yes, I know. I'm with another hero of our country. And I'm so fortunate to be amongst heroes because my father always said, if you want to be a hero or a coward, be a coward. Run away. Think about being a hero. Come back the next day. But this man This man here, Tom Cataldo, he didn't shuck that kind of responsibility. When he was a young guy, he said, "Hey, I got to save some people's lives." Tom Cataldo, World War II veteran, seen the battle, seen the combat, created some great things. A genius, and he's got this terrific blind. There's this kit that helps kids not be blind. It's terrific, but we're going to talk about that. But tell me about World War II and what you did in World War II so that we don't speak German, Japanese, or Italian. Well, of course, I like Italian because I got a little Italian in me.
Well, it happened almost by accident. My mother, we were living in a very poor part of the city of Boston. Father died at the beginning of the Depression, and we moved out. She moved us out in an area called Brighton, right across the river from MIT, which was just a stroke of luck, because after I got out of high school, I applied for a job there, and I got it. I guess because I had some experience in long-range radio and all that sort of thing, and they needed somebody who had that experience there, and we developed a thing called LORAN, long-range radio navigation, which the Navy desperately needed because we were escorting ships across to England and didn't even know where we were. And we were using
sounds like me on a Friday night.
And we were using
Mama T, I always come home. Okay, you know that. I'm like a hummingbird pigeon. Sorry, I had to kind of make sure I can come home tonight.
You know, the Navy was in those days was using celestial navigation. The problem was you could never see the stars on that North Atlantic route. It was always bad weather, and so we were not able to really do our job of escorting the ships over. And at the beginning of the war, we were losing 1/3 of our ships.
Wow.
1/3. And it was even worse with the
That's a lot of
Liberty
men and
ships.
women at
A
the
lot
bottom
of
of
men
the
and
ocean.
women,
Wow.
horrible, icy waters, shark-infested waters. And the numbers of ships that they sunk were just unbelievable. When we started the war, the Germans had over 2,000 U-boats, and they were cranking them out one a week out of 3 facilities. And FDR and Churchill just misunderstood the whole thing. They thought they spent more time bombing Europe, and really was kind of senseless because they couldn't even get down to where they could.
So you guys created this special sonar or radar that was able to detect them?
LORAN, Long Range Radio Navigation System, and it also it included better radar because the Brits had invented the radar. We made it. I was at MIT, and we made it better, and actually invented the LORAN system. The group that I was with, and. It was just terrible. It took us over 2 years, to turn it around to where we were sinking more subs than they were sinking of our ships. And had we not won that battle,
we would be
there
speaking
wouldn't
German.
have been any other battles.
No, we would be under Hitler's domination, and just the what ifs are unimaginable. But you also developed another thing that it's the thing I first saw it on the commercials on TV. Help! 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 I've fallen down. Can somebody help me? What I mean, how did you come up with that idea?
Well, it's another, almost by accident. My mother fell down back in Boston. I was out in L.A. here, and I had to go back and see what I could find. There wasn't anything. And so my brother, who's kind of a wise guy, said, well, you're an engineer, for God's sake, go back and do something about it. And it took about a week to do it and about 3 years to get the FCC approvals.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I had sold some to the VA. It had saved somebody's life. I had somebody in my office from AP that did an interview. The next day, it went out all over the world, and I was getting invited to go to different places. I went to Australia, got the FCC approval in 3 days there, 3 years here.
I like Australia.
And it's great.
It's beautiful.
Great.
I've
They
been there.
love anybody that works against the.
Yeah. I love anybody that likes me. I don't care what you
They
are.
were great. In fact, the head of the FCC, I got the Second day, he asked me, "What do I really want?" I didn't know what to say. I couldn't believe it. I said, "Well, I just want one frequency and pull a number out of the air."
Well, I'll tell you, you see it on every commercial now, late night TV, cable. It's a huge thing. And you also now you're working on this kit to help childhood blindness. Give me a brief idea of what's that about, real quick.
Well, it's something we've been wanting to do for years. Even since I started like 35 years ago with the foundation, I had a very prominent pediatric ophthalmologist, one of our founders, who said, "Gee, Tom, when you get a chance, come up with a kit that does what we do, what the ophthalmologists do." And they have a kid come into the office, and they check one eye and then the other eye, and that's exactly what the kid does now. We're getting a patent on that. It fills a huge void because now the parents can do it at home and do it multiple times, which is very important, because these problems are sometimes identifiable and sometimes they're not. One of my kids had one of the forms where the eyes are up or down or in and out, one of them. And, and the problem with that is that when you take the child to the doctor, which I did, the eye looked straight ahead. See, it was
So
working.
you have a kit that can correct a lot of these childhood diseases and help them see.
Identifies the three types of amblyopia, lazy eye, and it is actually the cure. The same kit is the cure for what I've got. The patch that you have in the kit, when you put it on the strong eye, it makes the weak eye develop.
So where can they get this? Give it the website. Find out info.
BetterVisionForChildren.org, BetterVisionForChildren.org, and you'll find the names of sponsors there that are beginning to come on board now. We just got the green light to start actually promoting and selling it, because at a certain point in the patent process you can't sell.
Right.
And so we can do that now.
Well, you're the engineering phenom, and look, between you and me, nobody's listening. Can you figure out a way to paint my house that I don't have to do it, so Mama T doesn't get so mad at me every time I come home? Can you figure that out for me? No one's listening.
Oh, well.
Wait, we're still on. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I'm just playing. And she's
We
smiling.
understood.
Jesse T here on the Jesse T Show. Tom Cataldo and the Honorable Miss Watson. I love saying that.
One thing about what she said.
Oh, okay.
About raising the children.
Raise it.
And that is what we're doing here. We're doing this primarily in low-income areas and third world countries, to get these children on a level playing field.
Everybody has to have a chance to win. That's what it's about. Have the opportunity to make the choice to win.
Exactly.
And have the energy and the spirit to never quit and never stop. No matter what comes in front of you, you stay the course and you keep fighting and keep fighting. Pick up the sword and pick up the battalion and just trudge through the way. Trudge through the way.
Our speaker in Congress would tell us that if you want to move ahead and make progress, then you get behind and push. If they don't succeed that way, then you take their hands and you walk forward. If that doesn't work, you go out in front and you try to lead. If that doesn't work, helicopter in.
Ninja style, Seal 6, I love it. Jesse T and the Jesse T Show. Hey, Alatino, come on in here real quick. Project Tapestry, we'll get Alatino in here. Hey, tell real quick about Project Tapestry.
Project Tapestry is awesome. We have everything that you could ever look for in a network. More than you could ever find, more than it just keep your mind blowing all the time. But in the same time, we're helping as many people as we can, 24/7, 365. Every time we do a broadcast, please donate any change you have to make a change for a better future tomorrow for children and everyone.
Bada bing, bada boom, baby. We'll see ya. Jesse T's out of here.